So, good morning, well, it's morning for most people. Good evening for people who are in other parts of the world. Great to be here today. I'm super excited. And I just decided to do this impromptu kind of Discord because sometimes, you have some important information, you want to share it and not wait until the download. So what I thought is I would do a quick sort of update here and a Q&A. So first things first, as I reported last week, our Dubai event was very good, and now we are starting to do the follow-ups on that, which mean multiple phone calls, Zoom calls, things like that. Just getting on everyone's calendar. Realistically, most of the meetings will start Jan 2nd onward, but there's a few people who are available to take the meetings, and so we are doing that right now. So all in all, I can say that the intent of the meeting was to get a good set of investor leads, and we did that. And these are sort of warm investor leads, and we already have interest and verbal commitment from a few people. So I'm really excited about that. But the reason I wanted to actually have this session and talk about today is to talk a little bit about Swapper. So as I had hinted previously, modified the Swapper app. So first of all, to address the needs of validators, because a lot of you wanted to sort of split your tokens and your node among wallets, and that was a manual process, and it was frustrating for you as it was for me, because going through support tickets and doing it one at a time was not pleasant. So we built that feature in. But the main thing is, as indicated in the prior download, we are rebalancing sort of the cap table and working on letting people commit to what they want their Vitro swap to be, and that is sort of one of the key features of the new swapper. So I haven't deployed it yet, but I'm going to share my screen, and it doesn't look like I can share my screen. Why is that?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
When I click on that, it says it has a no.
Oh, let me look at the terms. 1 second. Let me see what I can rustle up for you.
Oh wait, I think. Okay, I was clicking in the wrong place. I was clicking on the side panel, and I needed to click elsewhere. So give me a second here. Go live. Okay, I think I got it now. All right, cool. Yeah, so this is my local host. You can see the features have changed on this. So most notably here in the Swapper, I'm currently signed in with a test validator account. But you have this checkbox here. I don't know if everyone can see it. I probably should zoom in a little bit. Yeah, that's better. But there's an only coins here, and when you do that, it changes, so you can only swap coins. But more importantly, it's this section on the bottom. So there, you can make your choice. The default is 50%, but you can choose whether whatever percentage you want. You can go to 0. If you don't want to swap any of your Vitru, that's fine. If you want to swap all of it, you can go that way. So it's simple slider. But here is the reason why we've kind of delayed it. So this here button, lock my choice. So we were going to kind of store this information in the smart contract, the Swapper smart contract, and then do an airdrop later. But we have done the engineering here and have decided that when you do lock my choice, two things are going to happen. One, you're going to get your Vitro tokens dropped instantly into your wallet, so right away. And two, you're going to get your Nexus NFT dropped into your wallet. So this is something I know that people have been long waiting for. So we've decided to just orchestrate it via the Swapper. You make your choice, you hit lock, and boom, those two things are dropped into your wallet, and you are set. So the ETA on that is within the next week. So we are very, very close. At the most, it might go to 8 or 9 days, but we are there now. And so we'll release the Swapper 2.0 with full integration with Vitro and Vitru. So you will have your tokens. So that was the big thing I think that a lot of people have been waiting for and asking like when tokens, and this is it. So instantly, you will then be able to use the features of that Nexus NFT to claim your tokens, sorry, your coins that are vested. You'll have them in your wallet right away. And at that point, we will have also upgraded to mainnet RC2. And if there are people who want to deploy projects, do whatever they want to, create smart contracts, etc., you can start doing that. Now, as promised, we are going to keep the swapper capability open until January 11th. I think it is January 11th. January 12th is when it's already shut. I have to go verify that, but it's January 11th or 12th. Whatever I have said, that's the date. So until that date, we will keep it open. So anyone who wants to make a choice until then is fine. But with this way, we have the flexibility. Those who are ready, who know what they want, go ahead, commit. You get your tokens, you're good to go. And then post January 12th, we will start. Well, we're already in talks, but we will have a centralized exchange listing. We'll start with Vitro. So we'll get that going. And I can't speak right now, but I am very confident that we will have liquidity, is basically the detail I can share at this point. I'm extremely confident. So that's basically going to be the order. Then after that, we'll follow the centralized exchange listing for Vitru. So basically, January is our sort of, it's a big moment for us because everything starts to come together. Vitru Studio, I looked at sort of the demos on it, and I'll share it live on the Download Friday for the artists to upload the artworks, etc. The alpha version is already ready. People can upload the artworks, crop them, etc. So everything is coming together on very nicely in January. The investor conversations, the software, the protocol, the coins, the tokens, the community, all of it. And I've always been excited and always been confident about the success of this project. But seeing everything tangibly come together, finally, these things take time. Like a lot of them are, complicated pieces of software, etc. To see them all come together is really, really exciting. And I'm very grateful for the community for being patient. It's actually not been that long, right? Like I first came and pitched this idea of what we want to do on July 20th, something like that. Yeah, so it's not been that long, and we've transformed the project. We've got a protocol running, we've got software running, we've got the tokens ready to go, we've got new investors sort of lined up, and everything is coming together very well. So and boosters, I cannot thank you enough for the people of the community who stepped up and supported us. And honestly, I must say, Zach and I were talking about it yesterday. And because we had allocated 20,000 boosters, and I think we are a quarter of the way there on that front. The people who bought boosters are going to make a killing because there's huge amount of revenue share and perks pool, etc., for a very small number of people. So congrats to all of you on that, and thank you to the community for stepping up and doing that. I also want to shout out to the validator team. They are gearing up to get going. So I'm going to work with Baron here to get going on our KYC with Synapse. So we've got that queued up and ready to go. And we'll start onboarding, validators once the team works and gets the correct sort of specs and the process done, etc. But we are ready. We are ready to move this blockchain to mainstream, and really with the artists, etc., just jumping in now. This is going to be very, very big year for us coming up, and I'm super excited. So I guess just to wrap it up in terms of the news, the big news is that with the release of the Swapper app, you will be able to claim your Vitro immediately. So you'll have Vitro tokens dropped into your wallet, and you'll have by way of the Nexus NFT, your Vitru tokens also dropped into your wallet. So you choose. There's not going to be like a blanket airdrop until after the 12th. So after the 12th, we'll go ahead and do the airdrop for whoever's not claimed. But until then, you choose, you click that button, and it's yours. You're done. So let me stop sharing my screen here. Okay, yeah, there we go. So that's the big news, and for me, it's really exciting. As I also mentioned, you should feel very confident about the success of this project because the investors we are talking to, etc., we are pretty confident that January is when we will be able to close and move the needle significantly on our funding, and maybe meet or exceed our goals. Let's see how it goes. I always like to, when it comes to capital, I always like to be very cautious because until the money's in the bank and the deal's done, it's not done, right? And so I prefer to wait until the deal's done before we make any announcement on that. But right now, super positive. All right, so let's take some questions. I think that's what I like about Discord here. So we can talk to the community. So let's go.
I got a couple in chat, and then if you want to come up and talk, you go ahead and request. So we got, how is it possible for us to calculate the possible revenue from staked Vitro?
Yeah, we won't know that until we've got the numbers. But one of the things that we were working on is a calculator also. But honestly, the white paper took priority because more of the investors are asking for it. And I have committed that by end of day this Friday Pacific time, the white paper will be done. So after that, we can work on the calculator and give you that info also. So yeah. But until then, obviously, I can't. I think I could do a spreadsheet or something like that, but I think a calculator is what the community is looking for, and that's what we'll deliver. So that'll be right after the white paper this weekend.
Okay. Let's see. Lynn, question. I'm sure you already answered this, but can you confirm exactly when booster sales will end? It'll be the 12th.
Probably the 12th, or possibly sooner. It depends on how many investor deals we are able to close prior to that. Because what we want to, we have a limited pool of coins, right, for investors. So it's the same pool. The boosters come draw from that, the investors draw from that. So depending on what happens, we may close it sooner, but most probably the 12th.
Okay. Which is better, Vitru or Vitro? So I'll take that one. So the difference between the two is Vitro will be unlocked, so you'll be able to trade it right away. Vitru, you are obligated to the 18-month vesting period unless you have boosters, and you can accelerate that vesting. So which is better? It depends on who you are. If you are a long-term investor, you see the vision that we've put forth, I would say Vitro. If you want to do something tangible and you're a trader and you like to play the charts, maybe it's Vitro. It's up to the investor or the user.
Yeah.
Yes, this is being recorded. I am recording this, James.
Are you seeing other questions?
Yeah, if you go to the stage, the chat, you can see them all.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Let me go there. Oh, there's a bunch of questions. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. What's the total supply for Vitro?
45 million, of which the split is Vitro investors, the original ones from Uxie, 14 million. Vitru investors, we expect around 22 million. Shared among the super boosters, around 3 million. And the DAO has 6 million. So a total of 45 million.
I think they were asking about the DEX coin.
About
Vitro.
the Dex? What do you
Yeah,
mean?
Vitro, not Vitru.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what the
Oh,
capital I
okay.
just yeah, the breakdown I just gave is for Vitro.
I haven't had my coffee this morning.
Yeah.
And then the BTC sacrifice. Yeah, well, that'll will be done before Jan 11. I have a separate spreadsheet. And if you did the proper steps, I have put the information in there, and when it comes time to, we will integrate all of those numbers along with the Gleam prizes.
So should I just scroll through these and take these questions, Zach, or you want to read them off?
I mean, if you want to take it, you go for it.
Okay. All right. So I swapped. Okay, so I swapped RTS. I swapped all my Vitru to one wallet. When can we send our boosters to the wallet we transferred all our Vitru to? So the boosters are as are NFT vouchers, if you will, and you use them to apply them to a different wallet. So they don't have to be in the same wallet as your Vitru, your Nexus NFT is going to end up in. So it really doesn't matter which wallet it's in. It's your choice. You can they are freely swappable. You can move them around to any wallet, and we'll provide you a dApp to do it, so you can easily transfer to another address. Lynn says, thanks for the hard work. Thank you, Lynn. Appreciate it. All right, strategy wise, what's better? Swap 50-50. You know what? This is a decision everyone has to make. We've made it so you have the option, right? You have the option if you want to have an unlocked Vitro token that is freely trading as early as mid Jan, then go for it. Look, at the end of the day, both of them have different risk profiles, different incentive structures, and different potential for success. On the Vitru, what you're doing is you're betting on the protocol. You're betting on our business model around getting creators to list their artworks and building up a marketplace. Now that doesn't happen overnight. It mostly, we've seen Blur come out of nowhere and take on OpenSea and just blow past them. So that happened in a matter of months. So we are fundamentally transforming how creators interact with Web3. We are saying, take everything that's broken right now, throw it out the window, and here's a fresh, new, innovative approach. So with Vitru, you're betting on that, and you're betting on the token essentially, being the utility, right? Like the more creators use the platform and list on it, the more marketplace activity there is, the more valuable the Vitru token becomes. Now on Vitro, you're betting on something totally different. It is on the DEX, and so the foremost question in any reasonable, rational investor's mind is, well, what's the DEX going to be used for? As you know, a DEX is only of value when there are lots of tokens, all right, different types of tokens that people want to swap between. So where are those tokens going to come from on our protocol? Well, we are not just sitting around and waiting for people to create the tokens. That will happen organically, but we have a very specific plan. If you think about major organizations, art organizations, whether they are large galleries, museums, art foundations, etc., we know that they have very large communities. They have the artists, they have curators, they have collectors, they have patrons, and then of course you have the owners, managers, administrators, etc. And then you have the public, the general public. Now, each of those is an ecosystem. None of these art foundations to date have any mechanism to tokenize their communities. And tokenizing communities is the way, we all know it's a very successful way to move things forward. Well, what we're going to do is, with our Vitruscape program, make it super easy for a gallery, a museum, an art foundation, etc., to come click a button and create their own token, distribute it via email to their holders with a custodial wallet. And there, comes the flow of tokens. There are 19,000 galleries in the world. If we can get even 1,000 of them to tokenize their communities, that's 1,000 tokens on the DEX that would have to be swapped, etc. So you can see where that DEX activity is going to come from. It's coming from a vision of tokenized art communities. So again, very vertical, but we are not waiting for it to be sort of a general purpose DEX. It's going to be very purpose driven and very much hand-holding and onboarding to Web3 a lot of organizations that are on the sideline. So that's 84%. 84% of art organizations are not yet in Web3. They represent almost $168 billion in revenue. So in market. So that's the choice now. So the Vitro token is going to get a share of the fees from every transaction there. So as you probably know, in DeFi, the swap, the DEXs make the most money. They have made the most money for the longest time. And so there's no reason not to think that our DEX is going to be any different. So this is why I'm saying it's a calculated sort of bet you as an investor have to make. Both Vitru and Vitro have different risk profiles, but neither of them is unattractive. They are both attractive in the sense both are very, very purpose driven and have incentives. So you decide what your risk profile is, whether it's 50-50, it's 70-30, whatever. When you are projecting early on some of these things, you can't go that wrong. I mean, at the end of the day, it's one blockchain, one protocol, and both are going to sort of rise together. As they say, a rising tide lifts all boats, right? So I think you could go either way. Now, keep in mind that there is one important sort of determination factor for you. If you swap to Vitro, you do not change your perks or your rev share profile. So those numbers are based upon your holdings of Vitru currently, right? So when you make that commitment to swap to Vitro, it doesn't matter what number you choose to go to Vitro. Your Vitru rev share, your Vitru perks are going to be 100% of whatever your Vitru is. It doesn't matter what you choose. Now, so whatever you swap, you get those as unlocked Vitro tokens, and it's up to you as an investor to make that decision. So hopefully I kind of rambled on a little bit, but all right. Let's see. I'm gonna go through the questions some more. Okay, so Tate Sonar asks, will the Vitro from Uxie sacrifice be dropped to the original sacrifice wallet, or will it follow the wallet that receives the Nexus NFT, assuming wallets were changed during the merge? This is a good question. Yeah, so we have the list of original Uxie sacrifice wallets, and those are the ones we're gonna stick with. So the Vitro is gonna be for that wallet, but if you choose in the swapper, then obviously that's a new wallet holder, if you will, from the Vitro perspective. So if you're an original Uxie sacrificer, you're gonna get your Vitro tokens in the wallet you used for the sacrifice. If you're a Vitru swapper, then you'll get it in your Vitru wallet, your Nexus wallet rather. Are any of the VC investors getting boosters, or is it all through SAFT agreements? It is 100% SAFT agreements. So this is why I was saying it's kind of looking really good for the current booster holders, because we expected that pool to be depleted. But yeah, there's not going to be enough like there's gonna be a quarter of the people sharing in the same pools there. What about the Vitro incentive pool with the Vitro UXI that has already been purchased? Yeah, so any incentive pools that are there, they don't change. We'll keep those. How does the wrapped Vitro SOS? How does the wrapped Vitro work for centralized exchanges? Like technically, I haven't experience with wrapped coins. How does those work? I guess same value, but do I have to swap for it to send to centralized exchange? Yeah, this is a really good question. And actually, one of the reasons why some of this engineering is taking a little bit of time is this is not an easy thing. When we first talked to exchanges, they said, "Oh yeah, we'll take 3 months and we'll get your rebasing coin integrated." And we're like, "Yeah, that's not gonna work." So they said, "Well, if you got a token, we can do it in an afternoon," you know. So this is why we ended up going with the wrapped Vitru route. So basically, you're gonna have a DApp. It's a smart contract, so you can interact with it directly. You don't have to use the DApp, where you essentially swap Vitru for wrapped Vitru, and that's what would be actually trading on the centralized exchange. Now, the key thing here is to capture the value around the rebasing, right? So, because if you were to go directly with Vitru on the centralized exchange, who would get the rebases? Well, the exchange would, and so we wouldn't want that. So the key problem here is that it's entirely possible that you swap your Vitru for wrapped Vitru, but then you never come back, right? You can go to an exchange and you can offload to fiat, you can offload to another cryptocurrency, etc. So it's not a guarantee that you'll come back. So we have to figure out from an engineering standpoint how to capture those rebases. So we got that figured out. So it works in a fair and balanced way. So I should probably when we get closer to listing on an exchange and we have the wrapped Vitru sort of ready to go, I will do a primer on that and help you understand how that works. But basically, to answer SO your question, yeah, you're gonna have to swap your Vitru for wrapped Vitru to go to an exchange, and we are gonna try our best to automate that as much as possible. We'll work with the exchanges and see what we can do to automate that. But that's one of the integration challenges when you have a protocol that is rebasing. No one's done this, and everyone who has ever had a rebasing token has done it via a smart contract. It's done with an ERC20 smart contract, which is trivial, which is easy to do. But at the protocol level, no one's done it. This is the first one, and we have to help the exchanges get with the program. So. Crypto Spider Pig, how many tokens will investors see using 1,000 Vitru and 10 boosters? You know what? I'm going to take your question in the Discord because that's too much mental math for me too early in the morning. So I will answer it, but a little later. Let's see. Do the super boosters still split 1 million Vitro among them? Let me go check. It's actually 3 million Vitro. So the super boosters split 3 million Vitro. So yeah, so if you got a super booster, then you got a lot of Vitro coming your way. Are you going to drop NFT for validators at the same time as swap? Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll do the claims directly through the Swapper app, and then right after January 12th, when we close down that, then shortly thereafter, I would say, a matter of days, we'd start doing all the other drops for validators, stewards, dreamers, which is the artists, etc. We might do that sooner also, but we wanted to make sure that you still have the opportunity to swap and merge your wallets and all of those kind of things. And so we're gonna keep that open until January 12th, 11th. will we have a PDF or spreadsheet comparing Vitru and Vitro? Something show the differences and benefits of each one. I think that's a great idea. So let's do it. Yeah, we will do that. Lynn asks, what has been the hardest question you received from investors, and what has been their common selling point on this project? This is a good question. There's so many different investors, and they all ask different kinds of questions. But I think at the end of the day, one of the main questions everyone asks is, how are you going to essentially grow, the creator base? How are you going to get creators to come on here? And so my answer for that is pretty straightforward. 84% of them have not come on board Web3 because of the problems, and the key problems are: one, trust. Most of the existing artists, art institutions don't trust Web3 because they hear so much about scammers, fake art, etc. But they also look at the quality of the artwork. It's a bazaar. It's not a boutique, right? Like, you go to OpenSea and anyone who can spend 5 minutes creating artwork goes and mints it there. And so if you're an artist who's worked all your life, decades maybe even, to practice and refine your craft, you don't want to be stuck in the same thing as them, right? You want to be recognized for what you've done. And so you want a better experience, you want a more trustworthy experience. So that's one thing. And the second thing is the user experience friction. We all know how complicated it is for us who are in crypto to even deal with wallets and passphrases and all that. Now take that to artists and creators who are more focused on their craft and are not very technical in nature. This has been an absolute nightmare for them. And the ones who are in the space right now, they basically get by knowing what they program in their head. Click this button and then it does this. They don't know what they're doing, how they're doing it, or why they're doing it. So we are addressing that problem with a custodial wallet and making everything as simple as email. So you use your email address for everything. And so this, I believe, these two things, trust and user experience, are going to win the day. And this is not something new that we've cooked up. Look at industries, look at other industries again and again, and you will see that there is first a marketplace with a lot of different competitors, all crazy, doing different things, etc. But then along comes someone with standards, ease of use, very simple, and you start dominating. And that's what we are going to do. We are going to dominate. Tartan Madman asks, you get this question a lot, but will I be able to move my 18 boosters from the current wallet that are in to my actual Vitru wallet? Madman, you can do that. And so yes, we'll provide that capability. But again, you don't really need to, because the wallet where your booster is simply the holding wallet for it. That's kind of the wallet where your artwork ends up. When you boost, you choose a target wallet and say that I want to boost the Nexus NFT that's in that wallet. And so that can be any arbitrary wallet. But to answer your question, yes, we'll give you a way to move it. Actually, that way exists right now, but it's at the contract level. You have to go to the Explorer and choose, transfer, etc. But that feature is already there. Vio Abigail asks, does Vitru Studio will have a feature for artists to add extra work to the art like other app artists use? I think you mean like, can you augment the artwork with other things? Yeah, so we're making that quite flexible, and yes, we'll be able to do that. In terms, Hodel Yoda asks, in terms of launch price, are you still optimistic for $5 Vitru? I have been talking to all the exchange advisors, the investors, etc. And one of the things is, the pre-money valuation. So that's a big point of discussion right now. As you know, we have a circulating supply initially of 60 million. and multiply whatever dollar price you have with that, and that becomes your pre-money valuation, right? So at $5, that's a $300 million valuation, which is very tough for investors to swallow for an early stage blockchain startup. So I think I am optimistic that the price will go higher, but I am not sure that we want to open at that price, because then we will be crushed. So yeah, so as we get closer to the listing, we'll have more details on this. But really, it comes down to valuation, or if you think about it another way, market cap. So we want to go with a market cap and a valuation that's reasonable. We don't want to go with something that's totally inflated, because then the only way is south. We don't want that. We want to go north. So yeah, that's what. As we get closer, we can discuss more in details, and I'll have some nice financial models, etc., for you to look at also. Journey James asks a good question. I understand the difference for investors whether or not to swap Vitru versus Vitro, but which is best for the protocol, to swap or not to swap? That is the question. Thank you, Journey James. That's actually a very, very good question. So we are targeting around 11 million Vitru to be swapped. So to the extent you can do that, that's good for the protocol, because we do need to free up the coins for investors. I mean, that's how this all started anyway, to balance the cap table based upon the feedback we were getting from investors that we were too heavy on one end of the cap table. So if it's all equal to you, and yes, we'll make that comparison available to you ASAP. Then please do swap, because it definitely does help the protocol. Legendary Bastard asks, are we still within the first 1,000 people to buy 7 boosters and receive the max rev share? Yes, absolutely. Even that is, you're gonna get a significant boost on that, if you will. I don't even think it's hit 300 yet. So yeah, I think you're good on that. Oh yeah, Eso already answered that question. Thank you, Eso. All right, so Bear Arms asks, fantastic news, Nick, thank you. Question, I've spoken to several friends that are painters and even more that are singers. I know music and film comes later, but where can we direct new paint artists to? All right, so we're taking this step by step. We have our Genesis artists, 1,000 of them, and we are going to start onboarding them. Their purpose is to test out our software and tell us what is good, what is bad, what needs to be improved, and how the experience is. So once we are done with them, then we will open it up to in small cohorts, if you will, to larger groups of artists who are already in Web3 right now. So we'll do that, and then finally we will start opening it up to folks who are brand new, who know nothing about this, because for them we want to have a very structured process. We want to have workshops and a lot of hand holding. So I would say that right now it's premature for them, because we need the existing artists that we know are familiar with Web3 to test out the software, etc. So I would say probably late February is when we'll be able to start onboarding Web2 artists, who are completely new to the space. But we're going to start with the folks who are there, and there's a lot of them. There are quite a few who are still on our waiting list, and who are still hearing about Vitruvio, who will want to come on board. I don't know if you've been paying attention on Twitter of late, but the dominant sort of creator platforms have been Ethereum and Tezos to date. But with the recent surge in gas prices on Ethereum, people have been looking elsewhere. Now, Tezos has always been sort of the blockchain where creators converge. It's really more of a community where artists support artists. And you can see that from the pricing on Tezos. Tezos is like really sort of low-cost artworks. That's because it enables artists to buy each other's work and show support. Ethereum has been across the board, all manner of artworks, but the gas price is very high. So because of that, in the last couple weeks, there's been a big surge on Solana. Now, I think this is also due to the fact that Solana's had a big surge in price, and so people are gravitating towards that. Look, at the end of the day, creators follow the money, and that's where they're going right now on Solana. But it's still more of the same. Solana is not a holy grail. It's got faster transactions and lower gas fees, but other than that, the model is exactly the same. Artists still have to mint, they still have to do their own marketing, all of the problems that we are solving. So it doesn't matter to us that Solana is sort of seeing this uptick. All it means is that we have one more sort of comparison point for what doesn't work. And in fact, you can see that now a bunch of artists have entered Solana, and they have the same problem. They have to market and they have to find collectors. And until the marketing problem is addressed, all of these platforms have the same thing again and again. We are the first platform that are going to address the marketing problem through distribution channels and by giving artists more ways to sell their artwork than just NFTs. So in order for us to really be effective at getting new artists on board, we have to make sure that we've got our house in order. We've got the software done, we've got the marketing channels established, and we've got a nice workflow. So that's going to take us a couple months. So like I say, by the end of February, we'll be able to start onboarding. Let's see. Will Vitro be listed? Crypto Romy asks, will Vitro be listed on exchanges day one? If we swap Vitro to Vitro, will there be liquidity to trade? Yeah, that's the plan. So I've been talking to sort of the investors who are looking to put up capital for liquidity, and they have agreed that we will start off with Vitro. It's almost a way for us to kind of soft test things. So we are going to Vitro is open, right? Unlocked. So when you get your Vitro tokens, they are completely unlocked, and you can trade them, you can sell them, or you can stake them. So when you stake them, you become eligible for the DEX reward. So I saw a few questions when I first introduced the Vitro staking concept. I just want to clarify it. There are ERC20 tokens that when you stake them, you earn rewards in those tokens, like you have an APR and things like that. This is not that kind of staking. This is a very simplistic staking designed for you to earn income from the DEX and to earn a portion of the perks. The staking essentially means you parked your tokens and are eligible for the DEX fees, 0.05% of them shared among everyone who's staked. So you are not earning new Vitro tokens, etc. This is not that model. I just wanted to clarify that. Which tokens can we trade for Vitro on the DEX on January? Yeah, so we haven't. We are working on getting stablecoin agreement in place, but it is a time-consuming process because you have to go through due diligence, corporate due diligence, etc., before they will support you. But we are going through that process, and we'll, as soon as we have something announced, we'll announce that. Bob asked, what is the latest status on BTC ETH? So ETH was never a question. As far as I know, all the ETH holders are currently represented. As Zach pointed out, the BTC ones, we are waiting for people to respond. Zach, do you want to chime in on that?
Yeah, where we are right now, if your name isn't on that list, and you're like an ETH holder, you've been asked to open a ticket, and we have moderators creating a list, and I will go through the list and validate that maybe you got left behind, if that is the case. BTC holders, you just got to go down to the BTC validate channel and go through the Electrium wallet steps. been checking those. I think we got a couple new ones recently. And we will merge all of that stuff before we do this Nexus.
Let's see. What's the name of the decks for Vitro? Yeah, so this is something I was talking about yesterday with a marketer. We'll come up with a name. My inclination is to keep it very simple and just call it Vitro decks. So we'll see. What is the long-term plan for the decks? Will it be cross-chain to increase revenue?
Nick,
Sorry.
actually, before you move on, maybe we do a community contest for what it's
Yeah, that would be good. We can do that.
So-
That's a great idea. I like it.
Yeah, so if anyone has any cool decks name ideas, we'll figure out some sort of way to do voting, or I don't know. I'll think about it. But anyways, I just want to chime in.
Yeah. See a lot of similar questions here. Okay, here we go. Don says, will the incentive pool also be for Uxie buyers, and how will it turn out? Yeah, so as part of this swap, the other day in the minor updates, I did announce that we're going to take a portion of the swapped Vitru coins and make them available as an incentive pool for Vitru holders also. So I think what the community needs is what someone asked for earlier, is a comparison table. So I better get that done. So we'll have that up. That way you can compare apples to apples and have all the information. Let's see here. Hunter Roll says, while we launch this blockchain, we wouldn't be the first rebasing blockchain yet. I have yet to see one. So if you know of one that is not at the smart contract level, it's in the protocol, then I'd love to hear about it. But this is the first one as far as I know. Biz says, how far are we off with standards integration with the music industry? Yeah, so we won't even tackle music until we've got the artist thing squared away. So I think that would be like a Q2 initiative, Q2 2024. So it says, after the launch of Swapper 2, we will have only a few days to swap. Can the date be extended to have at least 1 week to swap? So look, the more we extend the date, the longer it will be before we list on the centralized exchange. So I think a lot of people might not like that. The swapper is just a tool, right? We'll provide all the information for you to have made your decision. So the actual act of swapping barely takes a couple minutes. So I feel like if people know that this is coming and you have all the facts and you know what you're going to do, then you just execute. I don't know that it should take a lot of days. So be ready for it, because that Jan 12th, we're going to kind of close out this thing. So like I said, we'll have the functionality out here within the next week. And that gives you a little over a week, right? I think that's adequate time for a couple minute transaction. But the more important thing is your decision, right? How are you going to do it? So that you don't need Swapper for. That's just looking at all the facts and information that's there. GTS, are there any big name artists that you've lined up that you can share with us? We want to make sure that the user experience is great before we even start talking to artists, etc. So I would say we know who the artists are, and we have contacts, and it's a pretty sure thing that when we talk to them that they would want to come on board. But I'm not going to play that card until we are ready for it. if you do things prematurely, people say that, well, you don't have anything that's different or new or exciting, and then we risk losing them. So we'll do that, but a little later. Like I said, these 1,000 Genesis artists and them testing the Vitru Studio, getting onboarded, and getting their first sale is very important. And as you know, now from the last announcement that Fur made at the download, the booster holders are going to be the first buyers, right? So you're going to go buy those artworks, and it's gonna be crazy because there are only 1,000 artists, and there are almost 4,000 booster holders at this point, I believe. And so it's going to be first come, first serve for this Genesis artwork, which is very unique. But we'll have more cohorts after that, don't worry. So every booster holder will be able to get their artwork, but on day one, it's going to be a bit crazy. But yeah, we're going to get the big artists. I have no doubt in my mind because I know a few of them. Fur knows quite a few of them, and we'll bring them on. But we want to make sure that everything's ready for them. Hamikid asks, with all the VC investors going through a SAFT agreement, do we still get a 20% bonus withdrawal if we get 5 million through SAFT instead of 5 million through booster sales? Yeah, that's a really good question. Yeah, so those bonuses are based on booster sales. So if we are not hitting those booster numbers, then unfortunately those bonuses are not happening. They are specifically for boosters. So to answer your question, no. If VCs are investing directly and we hit our targets, those bonuses will not be there. And I'm sure that's disappointing, but that's the deal. So we have to stick with the deal there. See, I'm sorry, I'm looking through the questions here. And Souza asks, will the DEX be launched in parallel with Vitro? No. So the DEX is going to come a little bit later. So there are so many sort of balls in the air. We want to make sure we get things done right here. So Vitro is going to be listed on a centralized exchange. The DEX will come a little later. So you don't need to start staking until the DEX is in place, except if you want to get some of those perk share. So if you want to get that, then yeah, you will want to stake. But otherwise, the Vitro tokens will be free until we get the DEX done. And I don't have a date yet on the DEX, a firm date yet to commit to on the DEX. But we want that sooner rather than later. So Don says the BTC list is wrong, Zach. So can you please connect with them and remedy it? All right. So looks like one of the priorities is for us to this Friday even again communicate on the BTC. I think we are waiting for users to tell us what to do. So for the ones that are done, we can get them into the sacrifice, right, Zach? The ones who have completed their wallets.
Yeah. I'll link you that list again.
Yeah, let's do that. So anyone who's finished, let's get them out of that spreadsheet and into the swapper. So even now they can start using it,
Sure.
right? Yeah. So Abby asks, hi Nick, will the marketplace feature the ability to sell NFTs minted already on other blockchains? Yeah, so doing cross-chain transactions, especially with NFTs, is not a new thing, and there's actually quite a few protocols that are available now. One in particular is called Wormhole. So we'd be interested in implementing Wormhole and making it easy for people to move their NFTs from other chains onto Vitruvio. I think most of the questions. All right. So I think we just need to make sure that Don's concerns are addressed. So we'll do that, Don. I apologize that we don't have the information right yet, but we'll take care of that. Pietro asks, how much time will we have to buy the boosters? So I'm gonna say realistically until Jan 12th, but possibly we might cut it off sooner. But let's just say until Jan 12th. Vio asks, how is the sneaker coming along? Yeah, so they already start working on that. We should be hearing from them. I'll check in with Fur and see how they are doing with their designs. They were given templates and they're coming along with their design. I spoke to Zhao via chat a few days ago, and he says they're gearing up for manufacturing. I think we should be good. On that, we had always targeted sort of the month of January to start fulfillment on that, and so I think we are still on track for that. All right, cool. I think that's about it. We had an hour plan here, so we got a lot of questions out of the way. I'm super excited because I know a lot of you always in Discord. I see when token, and I can now tell you that within the next week or so, you're going to be able to click a button and get both your Vitro tokens instantly into your wallet and your Nexus NFT with the Vitro coins there right away. So we are moving forward. Everything is progressing according to plan. Some things taking a little longer than others, but nevertheless moving forward. And I appreciate your support, and I appreciate your joining this call. Look forward to all your questions on Friday. Again, we'll be back, and I'll present more information, especially based upon some of the questions I've seen here. But we are moving forward. This is going really great. I'm excited. I'm a little jet lagged, so if you don't see my usual energy, it's because I'm a little bit jet lagged, and even like lots of caffeine is not helping a little bit. But by Friday, I will be back and be fully myself. So I really appreciate all your support, folks, and thank you so much for being such valuable and active members of this community. I'm out. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.